My name is Sandra Waldrop and you are watching Kingdom Acres. This is my segment on vintage country crafting friends. And if you are interested in all things primitive, farmhouse, cottagecore, grannycore, I am a granny in a 40-year-old body, even though I don't have any grandchildren. I've been a granny since I was born, just a tiny little old lady when I was a little girl, and so I've always been interested in vintage style decor and DIY stuff, crafting and all those things. So that's just who I am. Hello, Miss Stephanie, how are you? As you come in today, please feel free to give me a shout of hello. Hi, Michelle. And let me know where you are watching from and what temperature it is where you are today. My husband told me this morning that we were in the triple digits, and I was like, I don't need to know that, sir. I don't need to know. I know that when I step outside, it's very hard to like take a breath without feeling like you need to swallow, because you're basically like eating the air because it's so humid outside. So yeah, I'm just staying inside now. I'm done. I love my garden, but it's just, I can't do it. I can't go out there. My peppers are all turning red because I'm not going out to harvest them. I'm not. So they can just be out there and turn red. And I'll catch them later. I'll catch them later. We'll probably have a lot of volunteer peppers next year because they're going to fall off and dry and replant themselves. Crosby, oh, 97. You know, we were in, it was technically Friendswood, I think, area yesterday. But it was like way up, super close to Deer Park when we got off of Beltway 8. It was the big white dome looking things when we got off, and it didn't feel very hot. Like I was wearing a cardigan. Oh, Clifton's Crafty Casa, how are you? Miss Janice, thank you. Miss Lori, how are you? Thank you so much, y'all. So yeah, we went to my best friend's grandbaby's 3rd birthday yesterday, and I don't know why my phone keeps jiggling a little bit. Is there a dog back there? I don't know. Somebody keeps bumping it. It's not me. And so it didn't feel that hot, but then when we were coming home, we decided to stop off in Pearland, and walking from the car to the little restaurant where I wanted to get my food, it was so hot. Hey, Lily, is there a dog right there bumping? Can you grab him, please? My phone people think that I'm in a windstorm or something over here. My phone just keeps,
She rises from the ashes, stronger than before.
All right, yeah, he's got the itchies. 73 in West Virginia. Oh, Southern West Virginia. Wow. Deer Park, yes. Oh, okay, yeah. Artistic Treasures by Teresa. Hello. I was close to your old hood. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know why it was cooler, but it didn't seem that bad. And we had to park quite a bit down from the house that we were going to. And so we had to walk, and I was wearing my cardigan. I was completely fine. But just like the 10 or so steps it took for me to get into the restaurant in Pearland, I was like I could feel the heat just like radiating up off of the ground. It was so hot. 96 to 49% humidity. Yeah. Just take your fork and knife out there and cut the air. Oh, thank you, Teresa. All right, so last week on Monday, I made this sweet little vintage scale, right? And it cost maybe $5.50 using supplies from Dollar Tree. Okay, so if you missed last week's live, you can either watch my replay here on Facebook, or it's already been uploaded to YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. That's Kingdom Acres Homestead with Sandra Waldrop, because that's me. All right, so today we are going to zhuzh it up and make it Christmassy, so you can see how you might want to decorate it for Christmas, because we are all about Christmas in July. I do Christmas in July, I do Christmas in June, May, April, all the months, all 12 months. I am a 12-month Christmas person, okay? My daughter's boyfriend is giving me the side eye because he thinks that Christmas should only be celebrated in December. No. So today we are going to make some mini bundt cakes that will not affect your waistline, okay? And they can sit out and you won't be tempted by them in the least, because they will taste absolutely horrible. You do not want to eat these. We are making them with salt dough. So we've got 2 cups of flour, and this is salt dough with a twist, okay? Because we're using 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, and cheap salt, cheap. Do not use your Redmond's mineral salt or anything like that. Like, use the cheapest cheap stuff you can find, okay? And then I have the coffee grunge here that I like to use. And so instead of using water, I'm using coffee grunge. And it has, it has a cup of hot water, half a cup of instant coffee, a couple of tablespoons of vanilla, and then a couple of tablespoons of cinnamon. And I will tell you this, I'm positive that this is what heaven smells like, okay? It must be. If you wanted this to be more like a spice cake, you could add in some ginger or any other dried spice or extract, okay? I've done a cheesecake extract in this before, and holy moly, it smelled so good. So good. Okay, so I've just taken a little skewer because the cinnamon likes to settle at the bottom, and I have just mixed it up real good, and I'm going to measure out 1 cup of, not quite a cup of coffee grunge. I thought there was at least a cup in here. Let's see. Hey Emma, can I get you to go run and get me a little bit more water in this jar? I don't have enough coffee grunge in here. Of course, just like maybe half a cup. So we're just shy. We're just shy. I just want to make sure that we have all of the liquid that we need for this. And I could go ahead with that, but I want to make it to where I don't have any creases that aren't supposed to be in my little bundt cake pan. So this bundt cake pan came from my local H-E-B. And I'm sure you could find it at Walmart. I've seen them all over. Thank you. See, and she just put water in here, and all that sludge in there that was still hanging around, it just reactivated that. So there's that. Thank you, ma'am. And I'm just going to mix this right on in here. All right. And of course there's cinnamon hanging around in the bottom. I'll tell you, I want every last bit of that, because this coffee grunge is going to not only make my bundt cakes smell utterly divine, they are also going to it's also going to make my salt dough look like a spice cake or even a chocolate cake. It's just like a brown color. It gives it a really deep, rich brown color. And so I'm just going to, I'm gonna use my hands. I'm gonna use my hands and get this all stirred up. I didn't bring a spatula or anything, but I mean, who are we kidding? I have 4 children. I just go with the flow. The kids will come in there and they're like, ew, you're touching raw meat with your hands. And I watch YouTubers and they're like wearing gloves. I'm like, I am not. going to use gloves every time I need to cook something or touch something or do something. I just can't do it. It's too much effort. It's too much waste, in my opinion, and I can just wash my hands. That's why I have soap. So, anyways, I am just working this all through, kneading it good to get up all that extra flour in the bottom of the bowl, and it comes together as a dough really easily, and fast. Okay, so it does. I don't know if I lost my comments or not. It just keeps telling me that one of the viewers is watching a lot. So I don't know what's going on. I know that we've had some issues this morning. I was watching somebody while I was getting ready, and she was having issues with her comments, and I said, oh no, I hope that's not a sign of what is to come. You never know. The comment lottery in Facebook land is not always in my favor. Okay, so I'm gonna set that bowl to the side. And this is a non-stick Bundt pan, but I still spray a tiny bit of oil in here. You don't want to go crazy because you are making these to where they're shelf stable. They can sit out, it's not going to mold, but you also don't want them to smell bad. And so if you put too much oil, that oil is going to go rancid eventually, and if it has a lot of oil, it's going to overpower all of the good smelling stuff you have in this. So I'm just saying, you don't want that like fishy smelling, you know how it likes to do. Oil, when it goes rancid, it likes to get really fishy smelling. So I'm just pushing my dough right on in here, and I want to really work it down quite a bit so that it gets into all of the little fancy grooves, right? It's got really cute design, but I'm also trying to work out the little wrinkles, okay? I don't really have to worry about this being filled up all the way to the top, and in fact, you don't really want it to be filled up to the top, because if it's kind of hollow on the inside, it is going to make it to where it's easier for it to dry, okay? And that is really all there is to it. It is so simple, okay? And then once they are dry, there's so much you can do with them. Let me just go ahead and do these up, because I do need more. I've done some in the past, but it seems like I'm always running out, and I'm like, man, I wish I had more of these little Bundt cakes. So I'm going to do up this whole batch. And what I do to dry them, we won't be able to wait for them to dry to see the finished product, but I'll show you some that I've done. What I've done in the past is I will take these and put them in a super low oven. I set my oven to as low as it will go, right? And I only leave them in there for 1 or 2 hours, okay? Then just enough to where the outer or the underside, like where it would be the top part of it, is kind of hard. Happy Monday, Miss Nora. How are you? And I do that, okay, just a couple of hours in the oven. Then once they are hard enough to pop out, but still not quite dry, I go ahead and I take them out to ensure that they're not going to stick, but they're going to hold their shape, right? Then, oh, thank you so much. You are so sweet. Then I go ahead and I put them in the dehydrator, and those go all night, and it fills my house with the most amazing aroma while we sleep. And everybody wakes up the next morning super disappointed because they thought that mom was making cinnamon rolls, and they find out that I didn't even make something edible for them. So a little bit of a disappointment, but I just like the aroma. If I make cinnamon rolls, I got on this little cinnamon roll bandwagon not that long ago. And I was just, you know, popping out them cinnamon rolls left and right. And guess what? Guess whose pants got tight, okay? Everyone, not just me. Everyone in this household was giving me the side eye and, you know, not very happy with Mom because everybody gained weight. So, I'm just saying, even when it's not really Mom's fault, it's still Mom's fault. So, I'm not gonna make cinnamon rolls unless there's a reason. Which tomorrow is my baby girl's, my oldest daughter's 19th birthday. So, very excited for that. And today is her and her boyfriend's 1 year going out anniversary. So he's sitting here hanging out with my girl, and I guess that's what you do on a 1 year anniversary, is you just hang out. I don't really remember the exact date that my husband and I started dating. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. Like, it wasn't this huge thing. It was kind of like my friend sat us both down and was like, okay, you like you and you like you. Are y'all dating now? Because we were both so incredibly like shy when it came to that kind of stuff. And so he couldn't find the nerve to ask me out, and I was like, oh, I'm not talking to him. I like him. I can't even like look in his direction. And so his cousin made it happen, and we've been together ever since. And so that's how that came about. But I don't remember what day that was. It's not logged anywhere. I remember we were 16-ish. 16-ish? We were 16. But I don't know. Other than that, I just don't know. I have no recollection of things. Okay, so this is not going to be enough to make a full one, but I can take some dough out of the centers of ones that are too thick, because you don't want them to be too thick. Even if you can, you shouldn't, because if they're too thick, they're not going to want to dry all the way, and then they could mold, and you really do not want that. So the thinner you can make them to where they won't break easily, it's kind of like a happy medium. Just trying to find that happy place where they're going to dry good, and but not too thin where they're gonna break and they're gonna pop out easily, but not, you know, etc., etc. All those things. Okay, so there's that one. We might have one, and you don't have to fill it all the way up. You can make them like shorter. So this one will be my short one, although I might make one of those shorter too to give me just a little bit more here. I'll take some off of this one, give me just a little bit of extra. And after they're done, if there's any rough edges that you don't like, you can always sand them. You can sand them, you can make some faux frosting for them. I know that a lot of people have done it with, gosh golly, what's it called? Caulking. Caulking, you mix caulking. Tomorrow's your granddaughter's birthday and your anniversary. Look at that. It is just the season for birthdays and anniversaries, I think. It's been all over my Facebook feed where people are having anniversaries and stuff. Anyway, so it's caulking and paint, and you just mix it and make it, you know, kind of thin, and then you can drizzle it onto your cake and put, you know, your sparkly whatever, some fake fruit, etc. So this will go into the oven as soon as I end my live, okay? But I will show you some of my finished ones here. So that made 5, right? Or 4.5 rather. So you can see this one, I went all the way deep on it. And then these two were just kind of, I made them a little bit shorter. And so they kind of, they look good stacked together, right? I can do them however I need to with the stacking, right? Okay, so let me try to clean my hands off a little bit. Oh, happy birthday to your precious oh yes. Yes, happy birthday, or happy anniversary, Miss Janice. And happy birthday to your sweet girl. That's so exciting, right? Getting to celebrate all of these life moments, these memories and all the things. Okay, I'm gonna put my rings back on so I don't lose them. That one doesn't go there. Y'all have like the finger that you wear a specific ring on, right? Am I the only one? And I don't remember. Just losing my wedding rings. It's fine. Don't tell my husband. Okay, that's fine. I didn't put the right one on first. Your birthday on the 24th, and that's your, okay, and your anniversary's on the 26th. That is so cool. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so now we're going to come over here and I'm going to show you some things. All right, so Monday I did the scale. Tuesday I created out of a pickle jar, okay, out of a pickle jar, I made a little Christmas crock, okay, just a Christmas crock because I didn't have time to completely finish my project, so I just made the crock portion of it. Then on Thursday, I came back and I added my lighting element, and it's now a little lamp, which I will plug in and show you how darling it looks, all lit up. Look at that. Isn't that cute? I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so that's what I made over 2 different crafting days, okay, last week. I planned to come back on Saturday and do more things, but I had told everybody that I would if I had the energy and or if my husband didn't take me out on a date. Well, my husband did not take me out on a date, and I probably could have gone live, but time just ran away from me. Like it was like 8 o'clock at night, and I was like, I was supposed to go live today. Oh no. So that's what happened there. All right, I'm gonna grab this. So I've got this thing, and remember, it's just got the base, it's got the little candle holder, and then this is a 2-pack of covers, the burner covers, right, from Dollar Tree, right? Okay. Then I got this little, I had this piece of fabric just sitting around, but I got this really pretty storybook. It's a Bible storybook, and it's Edgar Myers. Isn't it gorgeous? The copyright inside is like 1951. So I thought that was really cool. So to style this whole thing, I want to put this, because this is a round piece of fabric, I'm going to try to put it to where it's in line with the circle of the scale face, right? Hard to tell from behind. All right, then I went to Hobby Lobby, okay? This is not their 40% off week on Christmas items. So if you decide to go, wait, okay? Because I spent more money than I should have, but I'm a last minute person. So the odds just were not in my favor today, but that's okay. That's okay. I got what I needed. They had 2 different styles of candle rings, like Christmassy candle rings, right? And one of them, the one I got, is only $13.99. The other one was $28.99. Okay, if you get the other one, I understand why, because it is absolutely gorgeous, but it's a lot simpler than this one, so I'm not understanding. But anyways, the other one was $28.99. Even with 40% off, I was like, I don't know. Anyways, so this is the candle ring that I got. And when you get it, all the little branches on it will be pointing up everywhere, right? So what I've done is I went around, they were poking up like that, and I don't like that. So I just pointed them downwards so that they will kind of hug around the edge of my my scale seat here. And I just went around the whole thing and did that, okay? Then I also added an extra pieces a minute ago. So this, just by itself, is absolutely gorgeous. And, oh, your late husband's birthday. Oh, how sweet. That is so sweet. So if you wanted to just grab one of these and throw it on top and set it on an end table or an entry table, or even make it a centerpiece, that would be gorgeous. You could put a candle in and it would be simple and beautiful, right? I have my little lamp that I made, so I'm sticking that in the center, and I am loving it. I'm loving how it looks with this, especially the red in the book, right? And then the little green star really brings it all together, right? It blends those, the different color elements, okay? And again, you could leave it just like this, but there's more. I have more. Okay, so, oh no, you know what? I forgot. I got a pack of these little vintage hankies. Okay, let me take this off real quick, and I'm going to put this under here and just kind of drape it out. And this really is just so adorable, having that little hanky draping out like that. If you have vintage napkins or even just like a little piece of fabric, I love the look of vintage hankies. So adorable, so adorable, and just sweet. It's just a precious look to me. Okay. Now towards the front here, I'm going to kind of stack in my little Bundt cakes. You see how that adds in a really just kind of a decadence, right? Okay. Now, what did I do with them? Okay. No, I have them right here. Let me see here. What did I do with my thing? I might have put it back in here. I may have. I must have. Oh, I did. My little box. I have this vintage cutlery. This is just like a little butter. It's a butter knife, but you know, it's the offset butter knife. And then a silver plated fork. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put another little piece of greenery with this fork, because I had it, the way I had it in there earlier, it didn't want to stay. All right, there we go. Without that, there we go. Okay, so now this is really like food themed, right? We've got our bundt cakes and our vintage cutlery, and this would look so sweet on a buffet or on a kitchen counter, just, you know, during Christmas time. So cute. I have all these little extra pieces that can be stuck in all over the place if you wanted to, I'm going to move my little hair out of the way. And I'm just flying. Time is just on my side today. Thank you, Miss Nora. Yes, I am just loving how it looks with this, it's an oversized candle ring. It's for the bigger, you know. Sorry guys, I had a call coming in. I don't know if it like pauses the live when I have a call coming in, but I hope not. All right, I'm gonna unplug this. I'm going to carefully move this over here. Balancing act, y'all. It's a balancing act. Okay. So that'll look very cute. Over here, I'm going to plug it back in for y'all. This, I do like to hide my cords, but just for the sake of how pretty it's looking, I'm gonna go ahead and plug that in as is. Okay. Stay. So there's that, right? Beautiful, beautiful. This will not stay here because it is taller than my shelf, but I'm just, I'm in love with how it looks with this backdrop, okay? But since we're going Christmas here, I'm gonna go ahead and transition over this little vignette that I made with the marshmallows, okay? If y'all missed those videos, you will want to check out the replays on YouTube. I don't know if they're still available. I have no concept of how long it's been since I did these videos. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet, Miss Stephanie. Let me see if I have any more of these little picks to fill it in. There's another little doodad. And actually, instead of sticking it in like that, because they're kind of falling in, I have more vintage hankies. So let's look and see. Got this one. Isn't that pretty? It's floral. It's got a rose on it. This one is just plain Jane, gorgeous. This one has a little bit of embroidery and like the weaving, it has like the holes in it to make a design. That's really pretty. This one is lace and it has like a little sticker on it. So there's that one. And then here's another one that has that cool design on it. Let's see, this one has the scalloped edges and a little bit of embroidery with, oh gosh, it looks kind of like Queen Anne's lace. You know what I'm talking about? Just like the little holes. And then this one, look at how sweet that is. How sweet. All right, so, but I think I want to do the lace one. This lace one really caught my eye. So what I'm going to do is just open it up, okay? And I'm going to push it down in here. Kind of want to turn, okay, they all have. I was thinking that, okay, let me turn it this way because it's got the seam on there. So I'm trying to figure out which way. Okay, no, it does go that way. All right, so in we go. And we go there. And now we can put in our little Christmas greenery. Christmas I love Christmas in July, y'all. I love it. I am absolutely loving it. All right, we've got a few more in my little box there. I've got a mini one right there I'll stick in. And there we go. Now this has been transitioned over, right, to Christmas. All right. This one does not yet have a Christmas image on it, but it will. As well as this could have a Christmas image on it, or I could just do the red star, right? Okay. So then I can swap this. Oops. I'll stick those back in there. Okay. So this is just the Christmas marshmallow front, right? So since it doesn't say campfire, I'm going to turn over all of my burnt marshmallows. Do y'all like to eat burnt marshmallows? I love burnt marshmallows, okay? The blacker, the better. Some people only like them like golden brown. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. All right. Okay. If you don't have this image and you want this image, it is mine. I give it to you for free. All you have to do is shoot me a message and let me know that you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, and I will give you this image for free. For free. So that is my gift to you. Then we've got our little patriotic people, our colonial people. Colonial people had Christmas parties, and I think that we can keep them. I think it's okay if we keep them. So there's that. So, all these little pieces popped out when I bumped it. All right, stick these back in there. I'll stick these back in there. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So now we've got our chicken feed, which we can keep the chicken feed. Sorry, I'm back of the head talking to y'all. I don't usually do that. Let's see what else we can put in here. We've got the streusel, not strudel. The streusel topped pie, or is it strudel? Gosh golly, which is it now? Streusel or strudel? I don't remember. But, and this is what I do. I'll just pull stuff from one area, right? And then I'll put it in somewhere else. And I just continuously move stuff around. So we've got our little star, and I can even stick the star in upside down because it's got that hole there. You can change out the pip berries to only red if you want, or just red and white, or just white even. And look, it's Christmas now. Now it's Christmas. My goodness. I can't believe I have 23 minutes left. Oh gosh. Arabella, will you bring me the tablet, please? The iPad. We have time. I can make something. Make something else. We've got, but look at this. Isn't that just like a whole display, right? With those two items. This is the only actually vintage thing. That's fine. This is the only actual vintage thing, this bowl, okay? I got this at a boutique that had like vintage things in it. So that's not bad, right? Because most of the things in this were either like recycled. This is a recycled jar underneath the sack bag. These little straws came in just like a craft box that I picked up for cheap. You can do so much. Let me see here. I'm gonna get on to my purchases because I know I have some Christmas. Okay, there we go. You know what? That'll be in my pages. I'm looking for an image for us to do the back of this little, this thing. Okay, there's the files. Oh, you know what? This is what we can do. That same Christmas marshmallow one, the same label that I used in this, I'm gonna put on the back of this, okay? Having some repeating elements. Oh, thank you, Miss Nora. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, I love you. You're just so great. I love you so much. Anyways, having some repeating images is a good thing because it really brings out the color elements that you're looking at and it gives you more of that theme. So let me just print. Hopefully it'll jump to my printer, no problem. Yes, perfect. Hello, Miss Karen, how are you today? We were discussing earlier how hot it is. I was watching a comedian here recently and he was like, you know, you find a lot more Christians in Texas because we know there's a hell, right? Because of how hot it gets down here. There's no way that we are going to spend... It is just so stinking hot here, y'all. It is just so hot. We are, we're all melting. I don't know. My poor garden. I feel so bad for just like abandoning it out there. And I'm really wanting to get, oops, I have like some ink on there. I'm really wanting to get my fall garden going, right? Because now is the time. Time is of the essence. But I just don't have it in me to go out there and clear out things and move things around and do stuff. I did a lot of things in buckets this year. So I already went out and, you know, got my potatoes out of their buckets and everything. And we've harvested a ton of tomatoes. A lot of the tomatoes, though, we got the leaf-footed bugs. But because it's Texas, in October, it's still hot. So I can have tomatoes in my fall garden. But who's gonna go out there and pull out all of the dying tomato plants and plant more? Who's gonna do that? It would have to be me. How is that going to happen? I don't know. I don't know. All right. So we've got this little deal. So remember on this side we had the All-American fireworks sign, and on this side we're going to do Christmas marshmallows this way or this way. Which way? Which way? Which way? What are we thinking? Diamond or square? I'm thinking, here's why I'm thinking diamond, okay? Because then when I stick it in this way, the sign will be straight up, but I do kind of like it better the other way. What should we do? What should we do? Somebody tell me what to do. You're liking your AC? Yeah. It's a rough situation out there. It's a rough situation. I think I'm just gonna go for the standard square, and then I'll just go from there. I will go from there. All right. I've got my grunge glaze. Okay, and this is again that same coffee grunge recipe, but halved with Mod Podge. Okay, so half Mod Podge, half coffee grunge, okay? And I like it because you can use it as a stain on wood to prevent the coffee grunge from just like being, you know, just completely drank up by the wood, and it helps it stay on top so you get your coloring. So, diamond, you like the diamond? Okay, I'll go with the diamond. Sometimes I just need a little bit of somebody else to tell me what to do. Sometimes that's just what I need. So I looked to the side just now because so my girls have 4-H camp this week. My oldest daughter is leading a workshop on it's a health and safety workshop, and so she's covering more health, right? And hers is exercise. So she's going to give a little talk on the importance of exercise, and then she's going to teach them some dances, and they're just going to have a grand old time. Well, she has some visual aids that we are printing and putting on foam board. And one of them just slid off the couch, and I don't think it was glued on. We went to the library today. They have an oversized printer, so I was like, okay, it's the library. It shouldn't be extremely expensive. For one of those Dollar Tree boards that's like, I don't know, 2 feet by less than 3 feet, it was going to be $15 to print an image for one of those boards. We have 9. Okay, we have 9 images that we needed printed. That's $135. No. Does that make sense? 135? Yes. No. 145. It's 145. Anyways, it's a ton of money, right? A ton of money. No, it is 135. Sorry. Trying to... The math ain't mathin'. So, anyways, I came home and I was like, we're still gonna do it. We just have to figure out another way. So I downloaded about $10 worth of apps on my phone, tried 2 different computers, and I finally found an app that will take an image and divide it up into several sheets to print it like a grid, and then you just cut out the white part and glue it on down to your board. So that's what we're doing. So he just dropped basically, oh, thank you, Miss Carol. So hopefully the pages didn't go everywhere. Oh, she had glued some. No? She didn't glue them? Okay. Little sister saved the day. She put them back. So, anyways, it's a little bit of a mess because the app that is actually working for me, after every time I hit print, it pops up an ad. And if you are not on the screen that you're printing on with my printer for more than a few seconds, it will like fail the print. Like it won't let the print go through. So so I'm like trying to kind of get out of the ad as quickly as possible, because the first couple times I printed, it wasn't working because I would hit print and then I'd walk away. So I was multitasking. So that was not good, but I finally figured out my issue where I was getting like blank pages or half a thing, half an image or whatever. So I'm just using my instant coffee and going around my glaze to give it that look, that grungy look. I'm also going to do some cinnamon. Mom solved the, yes, my main job in life. That, if I have to ever apply for another job in my life, I'm going to put that down as a skill, as problem solver. Okay, that is my current position, is problem solver. That is my job. all the things that I do, that is what I would put with the most emphasis, is that I am a problem solver. And I know that some women go back into the workforce, you know, after years and years of raising babies and stuff. They're like, I've got nothing to put on my resume. I'm like, oh, yes, you do. You absolutely do. All those years of volunteer work, that was work. You just didn't get paid for it. All the years of momming and running, you were a chauffeur, you were a schedule maker, you did lots of things that that are very valuable, okay? A lot of people. So funny to see Christmas. Yes, it is. Thank you, Miss Carol. It is the best time of year. I love Christmas. We will watch Christmas movies all year long. All year long. We will. That is something that I love to do. I love to crank down the AC, right? And make it nice and cold in my house. Get a nice cup of hot chocolate and turn on the Santa Claus. Me and Tim Taylor are enjoying Christmas year round. I used to love those movies growing up. I loved them so much. My husband is pretty much over all of my Hallmark Christmas movies right now. He's just kind of had enough for the moment. So I'll give him a little bit, maybe a month or so, and then we'll go back to it. He's wanting to lift a little bit. I might not have put enough of that glaze. Okay, so problem solving. If this decides not to stick, after it dries, you can put some parchment over this and break out an iron, okay? Cover it with the parchment and then iron over it, and it will reactivate that Mod Podge and dry it, or not dry it, it will seal it down without any wrinkles. So you really, it's really the best way. Actually, will you go get me my mini iron? It is on my desk in the back room, right there on the edge, kind of close to the mannequin. It is, you get to make so many sweet and precious memories. I like to do Christmas stories every night the month of December. That is my thing, is that I don't care how old my kids are. I still expect them to come out in their pajamas with their pillow or blankie or whatever they've got and sit there and enjoy my stories. My Night Before Christmas, my, what is it? My Grumpy Cat books, all the different Christmas books. We've got a ton of them. Oh my gosh, there's one. Oh, I can't remember the name of it now, but it makes me cry every time. I picked it up at a, and now a piece of parchment, please. I picked it up at like a little second-hand store. They had a bunch of these books. I think that somebody, maybe local, wrote it, or I don't know. But these two little girls, their mom is like in the hospital, and their dad is going back and forth to the hospital. And the little girls, thank you so much. The little girls decide that they still have to have Christmas, even though their mom is in the hospital, because that's what their mom would like. And so, and I think it was, the mom had like hantavirus or something like that. Like it in the book, I don't know. But it was so sweet the way these little girls went through, and they have like a family book, and through generations, everyone, all the women of the family had added their recipe that they loved most to this book. So they would make all of the family recipes for Christmas. That's what their mom did. And so that's what they did. And I just thought it was precious. What? Yes, I am. You can use it if you want. She found a little race car. Here, let me see it. She found this in the back room. This is a race car set from Dollar Tree. I just thought, I looked at some of the pieces inside this set and I was like, I could use that for some of the stuff I do. So I grabbed it, but now she found it and she wants to use it. So okay, I've got parchment paper, right? Not wax paper, not freezer paper, parchment paper. And this thing is very wrinkly and it's not wanting to stick down in certain places. So I am just going to go over this. Yeah, okay. Normally I lick my finger, but I've got all kinds of stuff on my finger. So I'm just gonna go over this with my iron. And I'm going to make sure that it adheres and stays put. And then after it's on there, you know, you can always seal it or whatever. You can add more things to it. I saw somebody doing some of the sparkle. It's not glitter, it's like crushed glass basically is what I've heard it is. I can't remember what it's called, but they were doing that with their little Christmas stuff. And I thought that that was super cool. I wake up super early in the morning, not because I want to, but just because that's what time my body says it's time for me to start moving. And so I can usually catch crafters early in the morning. I like to catch some replays in the morning and stuff, because then it was right up and off to the $1 Million Library. I could not believe how much it was going to cost us to print. I was like, oh no, oh no. Isn't that sweet? Didn't that come out so sweet? I definitely recommend the iron method if you are putting any images on wood. And I was telling my daughter we might be able to even try it with the foam board. I don't know if it would be too hot and melt the foam board, but it would make it to where it doesn't wrinkle, because I know we're going to be using a lot of glue, and I just feel like if we use Mod Podge and then you know, like Mod Podge the foam board, let it dry, then put our image down with the parchment and iron it down, and there that goes again. It's got a very short cord on it. Then it'll work great. I don't know. Anyways, there's that. So I can stick this back in here. Look, I've got just a few more minutes. And then I will be handing the reins over to Miss Lori from Lori Resiliently Crafting. She is next in line here on Vintage Country Crafting Friends. So make sure that you are in that group. Look at that. Look at that. Make sure that you are in the group, and make sure that you are following all of our wonderful creators, okay? Please give a like and a share and comment. Show them some love, because that helps us. That helps us so much. Just even a heart or a wow reaction to our post boosts the algorithm. For some reason, the likes, not so much, just the thumbs up. I guess Facebook views that as kind of like mediocre, and they're not going to push your content if it's just the thumbs up. But the like and the wow and all the other ones, they're like, ooh, this must be something spicy. So we're going to go ahead and promote that or push it, or, you know, it boosts the algorithm. So if you want to help any of us out, you can send stars, you can join the group, you can do reactions, you can comment, and that is so incredibly helpful to all of the creators. And I tell you, these women are absolutely amazing. I am so honored to be in the company of these crafters in this group because they're so talented. They know so much, and they've all been doing this for years and years and years. And they're all just such beautiful women, and amazing women who love the Lord. And I just really want to see them succeed. And I hope that everyone has a great rest of their day. I hope that nobody ends up thinking that these are real food and comes into my kitchen and tries to eat them. That might be something that my husband might do. That would be so funny. He'll be one that'll be like, you didn't make any cinnamon rolls? It smells like cinnamon rolls in here. Nope. I don't know. Anyways, so if you want a little something extra for your Christmas vignette, Faux baked foods is the way to go. And so easy. 2 cups of flour, a cup of salt, and then a cup of liquid, either coffee grunge or water, or even you could use black tea. That might work to give it just like a warmness instead of making it so dark. You could try a variety of things. So anyways, I will let y'all go. I thank you so much for being here. I thank you for watching me today and hanging out with me and commenting. And I will talk to y'all again soon. Thank you for making a homemade home with me today. Y'all take care. Bye.